and welcome to the Red Sunflowers podcast. I'm Valerie.
And I'm Grace, and we are two pals who enjoy chatting about real life and our experiences of it as Catholics. We are excited to be able to share some of those conversations with you.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Red Sunflowers podcast. Today is a very exciting day. It is St. Joseph's feast day.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo. Or is it solemnity? St. Joseph?
What's the technical feast day?
Okay.
What does that say?
Oh yeah, St. Joseph, spouse of the Blessed Virgin Mary, solemnity.
Solemnity.
Ooh, ooh.
It's a big day.
It is.
It's a big day. It's the year of St. Joseph as declared by Pope Francis.
Yes. So, solemnity of St. Joseph and the year of St. Joseph.
Lots going on.
Yes. Again, lots of good old St. Joe.
Yeah. And for us, one of the churches within our pastoral region is St. Joseph Church, and it was declared a shrine, a temporary shrine for this year by the Archbishop. So we're just St. Joseph.
On St. Joseph, on St. Joseph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for finishing that for me because I wasn't exactly sure where I was going. So what are we going to talk about then?
Oh, well. We're talking about, seeming real confident, the readings for today's Mass.
Yes.
So, very excited about that. And because, how many times are we going to say St. Joseph in this episode? It's going to be a lot. Yeah, start a counter. Because it's the solemnity of St. Joseph. During the year of St. Joseph. Wait, oh my goodness. Where am I going with that? Oh, our prayer intention.
Yes.
Okay, because it directly relates to that, our prayer intention for the next month is authentic masculinity.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
So if you'll join us in praying for, how would you say that? A growth in all the virtues that encompass authentic masculinity.
Yeah.
That was kind of a mouthful, but I think you get the point.
Yeah.
So
that's the general prayer intention.
Mm-hmm.
Work it in however you want.
Mm-hmm. This affects all men and all women.
Yes.
Because the better the men are, the better the women are.
Oops.
Boom. Episode over. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
St. Joseph, pray for us.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, please. No, for real.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So why don't we get started with prayer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's just do an Our Father together. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Saint Joseph, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Here we are.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you actually today, Grace. Okay. One, I think I know I already asked you, but I actually forget your answer already. And maybe you'll have forgotten mine. I don't know. Yeah. So, if somebody were to compare you to a cereal, what would be the most insulting cereal?
Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm trying to remember yours.
Okay, good. So you don't remember. That's good.
I think I would if I thought about it a little bit more. This was literally a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Did I give an answer?
I don't know if you did.
I'm not really sure if I did.
I've been racking my brain. I'm like, I don't remember what that was.
Yeah.
I mean, not racking that hard.
Yeah. I know which one you'd want.
Oh, yeah.
To be. You would want to be Cheerios.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird, no offense, but...
Yeah, I stick to that answer.
But it fits.
Yeah.
Which might have been even more insulting, but I didn't mean it to be.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but
so
it fits
weird.
you.
Well, it suits you. That's pretty weird. Nah, it's okay.
No, it's just the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
And you're like such not a high maintenance person. I'll take a bowl of Cheerios.
Yeah.
Unflavored.
Yeah. Plain old Cheerios.
Plain old Cheerios. Yeah. Most insulting cereal. I can't decide whether it'd be something like super boring and bland.
Like Cheerios?
Kind of like Cheerios. I'm thinking like Rice Krispie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or if it would be more offensive, to be like a cereal that's just so over the top.
Oh.
I think actually that would be a little bit more offensive to me.
Yeah.
Just because of how my personality is.
Also keep a counter for how many times we hit the mic. We're already at 2, so
you can tell these are also new.
Yeah.
We were talking beforehand. We're like, besides our first couple of episodes, the environment has changed a little bit or a lot of it each time. Mm-hmm. And so we're always adjusting.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. The most, I think it would be a really over the top cereal. I'm not sure which one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe take a rain check.
No.
Is that illegal?
Yeah, that's illegal. No. I'll give mine.
Okay.
And you keep thinking.
Okay.
Well, okay, actually, so like obnoxious in flavor, obnoxious in marketing, obnoxious in color, like, or any or all.
Is this a question?
Yeah, sorry, that was not, the tone did not imply question, but it was question.
Yeah, pretty much all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, everything about it just is loud.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the loud ones are delicious, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, now that I think about it, you saying that, I think I have 2 answers.
Okay.
And it's kind of opposite ends.
Okay.
One being Raisin Bran Extra Raisin.
Oh, yeah.
That is an actual cereal.
Yeah.
I just discovered that and it disturbs me. I'm like, what? The worst part of Raisin Bran cereal, let's give an extra dose. Oh, also, I just find raisins strange. But you know what would be even worse? If they were craisins.
Oh, does that exist?
I don't think
in a
so.
Cereal? Okay.
I don't think so, but that's, I think, the only way it could possibly be worse.
I know you have a hatred for craisins.
I do. I find them, they just so
I think they're pretty tasty, but
yeah,
the
to each
look,
their own. Yeah,
the look disturbs you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like fruit is like juicy and fresh and flavorful, and then you dry it out, and it just gets weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
true.
it becomes not juicy, the flavor changes, and then it becomes really like chewy. And like I don't know what that is. There's like this texture to it that's just like odd.
It takes a lot of work to get it to the stomach.
Yeah. It's just like kind of makes me think of like animal food, like deer, like something you'd feed to a deer that they would really chomp on, or like a cow. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyhow, we should move on from that.
Okay.
So that's my one answer at the one end. The other end, I think, would be like Fruit Loops or something.
Okay.
Because they're just so brightly colored.
They are.
Bright colors, obnoxious packaging and marketing. Isn't it like that weird bird or something?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what?
The toucan.
Yeah. And then the flavor, I don't know. I think I've only had them once or twice, but they were just very unsettling to me.
You don't like how it tastes, at least?
I don't think so.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You've got a weird palate for cereals.
I do. When it comes to cereals, I just like it plain and simple, but no dried fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't have a specific name, but I am certain there are cereals that exist that are fruity, but also have marshmallows.
Ooh.
And they just have too much going on.
Yeah.
And they're all components of the cereal are fighting against each other for attention. There's no cohesion, and I don't like that.
You don't like chaotic cereal?
No.
Yeah.
Cancel chaotic cereal.
Yeah.
To be honest,
we're starting a movement.
Yeah. Sign the petition. We will include it in the video. No, we won't. It's not a real thing. Though to be fair, if I were to try said extra cereal,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably think it's delicious.
Yeah.
But just how
The
it
idea,
is irritating.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then maybe I should talk about the kind that I like. That wasn't really your question, but we talked about Cheerios for you.
Oh, yeah. Like what would be like a compliment to be compared to? Yes.
Well, okay. I don't know if it would be a compliment. Well, I can't decide. On the one hand, I could be offended by it, but Crunchy Nuggets, in other words, the name brand is Grape Nuts. It took me a minute. Grape Nuts.
Bird food.
Valerie calls it bird food, which is
It's
pretty
like
accurate.
little pebbles. It's like tiny little pebbles. It's like
And they're really
bird food.
hard.
Yeah.
But it's tasty, and how it could be a compliment is because it's very fortifying, full of vitamins, minerals mostly, I think, and
Fiber, because it's
Fiber.
made for the elderly. Can I say that?
Sure. I mean, you just
I
did. We're not starting over.
Yeah. Sorry, elderly. There's nothing wrong with fiber. It's just,
No.
I just hear that and I'm like, okay, I know what age group this is for.
Yeah. Well, this age group likes it too.
Yeah.
So.
You have the
And
taste
it likes
buds
me
of
back.
like an 80-year-old.
I do. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's true. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I have the taste buds of an 80-year-old. You have the taste buds of an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. You're over there with your grape nuts, so like, and I'm like, oh, hot dogs, mac and cheese. That sounds good.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we have that figured out.
Yeah. Okay, so actually one thing you said makes me have another question for you. Do you ever have, or do you remember, there's marshmallows that are colors and flavors. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Yes. Did you ever have those as a kid?
Yes.
Okay. What were your thoughts as a kid, and what are your thoughts now?
Good. Tastes
Both?
good. Well, I would say both. I haven't had them in a long time.
Okay.
But if they were presented before me, I would eat them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'd probably say, this is good.
Wow. Okay.
Let me guess. You liked them as a child, you don't like them now.
Yes, precisely. Yes, as a child, I loved them. And now I think I had them. Well, I don't know when I had them. I feel like sometime within the past couple of years, and I was like, this is strange. But
They are strange. What are they used for?
I don't know. I think you just eat them.
Okay. Because you wouldn't put that in hot chocolate.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, because they're like fruity. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I think you can probably make like Rice Krispie treats with those instead.
Oh, maybe. But then it's like, but they're all, I think, different flavors. Like, because there's
Yeah.
different colors.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like that could get real strange. But also maybe not.
We should just try
I
it.
know. You can try it.
And then don't bring me any.
Yeah, yeah. Bring me a small piece. I'll lick one.
Wow.
Oh my. Okay, we've talked about this for a very long time.
We have.
Let's move on. Okay.
Let's do that.
So maybe let's just start with the first reading.
Mm-hmm.
What in that stuck out to you, or what was like, ooh, piqued your interest, spoke to your spirit, spoke to your soul?
Can you go first?
Sure, yeah. Okay, so when I was reading through that, I think there was one line that really kind of stuck out to me. And it was, I will be a father to him, and he shall be a son to me. And this is just like pretty basic, but just like reading that, like the relationship of like father and sonship, or father and daughtership, and like God's desire to be our father, and just kind of like a reaffirmation of our identity as children as sons and daughters of God. And I think in there it may have been like, well, not, is that part referring to, it says, I will be a father to him and he shall be a son to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, who's that referring to? Is that referring to Jesus, like prophecy, or?
I think it could.
Okay, because I'm like...
So this is from the second book of Samuel,
Mhm.
chapter 7. I think it could be. Like when I'm thinking about Saint Joseph and this being read on his feast, I think, oh, I will be a father to him and he shall be a son to me. It's Saint Joseph and Jesus. But in this context, it's the Lord speaking to Nathan to go tell David.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So there's probably multiple people.
Yeah.
It could be in
Sure.
reference to, whatever.
Yeah.
Any whoosies. But that's just, like I said, pretty basic, but that's just kind of what I was taken away from it.
I like that. I didn't really have anything noted from this first reading that stood out to me. So
Okay, we can move on to the psalm. Was there anything from the psalm for you? Because there was not for me.
There was not for you?
No.
So the psalm, so I guess maybe we could just read it.
Okay, yeah.
Or part of it. The response is, the Son of David will live forever. And this is from...
Psalm 89.
Yes, thank you. The promises of the Lord I will sing forever. Through all generations my mouth shall proclaim your faithfulness. For you have said, my kindness is established forever. In heaven you have confirmed your faithfulness. And then the response is, the Son of David will live forever. I have made a covenant with my chosen one. I have sworn to David my servant. Forever will I confirm your posterity and establish your throne for all generations. The Son of David will live forever. He shall say of me, you are my Father, my God, the rock, my Savior. Forever I will maintain my kindness toward him, and my covenant with him stands firm. The Son of David will live forever. So I guess the only thing that's the Son of David. So Saint Joseph was of the lineage of David. So I guess we could look at this in terms of him. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Second reading?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to go first? Or
Sure.
Do you want to go?
Dive in.
Okay.
Dive in.
So for this one, find the section. Okay. So the little chunk that I kind of took out was, it depends on faith so that it may be a gift, which is a very small and short little chunk. But again, pretty basic, but just kind of a reaffirmation and bringing to mind again that faith is a gift, and it is something that's given to us by God. And that's the extent.
That's good.
Yeah, just
That's
a small
nice.
little chunk.
And then kind of going off of that, this reading is from Romans chapter 4. And it talks about the faith of Abraham, right? So it says, for this reason it depends on faith so that it may be a gift, and the promise may be guaranteed to all his descendants, not to those who only adhere to the law, but to those who follow the faith of Abraham, who's the father of all of us, as it is written, I have made you a father of many nations. This made me think of kind of relating, like the parallel between Abraham and Saint Joseph. And their, and also as we get into the gospel, one of the gospels, there are two options for the gospels, for the gospel reading, but Abraham and Saint Joseph were called to this, obviously called to faith and to believe what the Lord had to say. So with Abraham, I will make you the father of many. And then it doesn't happen. And finally Sarah has Isaac. But he had to have the faith. He had to believe that God was going to keep his covenant with him. And then as we get into the gospel, like I was just kind of seeing this parallel between the faith of Abraham and the faith of Saint Joseph, especially when, where's that? That's in Matthew. when, when his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found with child through the Holy Spirit. Okay, Saint Joseph is just thinking he's going to divorce her quietly, but then the angel of the Lord appears to him and says, here's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you got to do. And we see the faith of Saint Joseph in that he does do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting, like, maybe just kind of like, not super related, but something I heard recently, a reflection of Saint Joseph is that he's a very silent man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't hear him talk.
Yeah.
Recorded, and that there's something actually this person was talking about, like, why do we call one of St. Joseph's titles is the terror of demons?
Mm-hmm.
And a very fascinating point is his silence, because Satan hates silence.
Mm-hmm.
He despises it.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that in the many distractions, which not all distractions are terrible, but
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of see, I guess in the life of Saint Joseph, this like silent obedience and this faith that, okay, this is what the Lord told me to, or in this case, the angel of the Lord, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Onward.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just courageous.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and like also, I know we aren't really in the gospel yet, but I kind of just dove in there.
Oh, that's good.
But then also just kind of like how it might have been intimidating for him. Probably
Mm-hmm.
was intimidating. Like, oh, I'm going to be the husband of the Immaculate Mother, and I'm going to raise our Lord.
Yeah.
And I am I'm an imperfect human being, but I've been entrusted with this task of protecting the most holy family.
Yeah.
And being a super big part in the family as spouse and as father. And just that's courageous.
Oh, yeah.
And to not ask questions like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's also it's a very humble
Mm-hmm.
thing to say. Because surely he knew his weakness. But again, there we see him leaning on the Lord.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
There's a train
going by, and I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's making me laugh because it just is doing its little beep beep, whatever that, not beep beep, whatever it's doing. It just keeps pulling the horn very obnoxiously.
We're right beside a train track. And
Yeah, so you might hear that, but it's trying to keep it together.
Yeah. Remember the garage door a few times ago?
My goodness. Yeah. Repeat.
Yeah, repeat.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
No, that's great. Yeah, I really like, you said, silent obedience.
yeah.
I love that. Like silent obedience.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And I actually had something in the same realm that kind of goes off of that. So like when I was reading through it, Joseph was basically, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. And there was like two parts, or two, what do you want to call it? Two whatevers.
Sections.
Or two things related. We're just going to stick with that.
Okay.
I was just really thinking about that, and I was like, okay, Joseph, like, think about the action he took because of a dream. Like, that's pretty wild. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, that, like, really speaks volumes to his faith and the relationship he must have had with God. Because you think about, like, there was no hesitation. Mm-hmm. He just did it, which means, or, like, suggests, that he knew God's voice and recognized it was his prompting. That, oh, that wasn't just a crazy dream, Like,
yeah.
There has to be a relationship. Sorry, just
it's okay.
I'm sorry
about that.
Sorry,
it's okay.
Oh, wow. Oh my.
That's a really good point. I really like that.
Yeah, because it's like, because how easy would it have been to dismiss, like, oh, that was just a really weird dream. This angel showed up and, told me that Mary was with child through the Holy Spirit. Like, how easy would it have been to just dismiss that and say, weird dream last night. All right, go on with my life. But he recognized that, oh, that was God. That was his voice. I know his voice. I recognize his prompting. So, like, there's that element, which itself is huge. But then there's even like building off of that, the faith he had to then act on it. Like the faith and the courage to be like, all right, I'm doing it. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
That's a really, really good point.
Like, St. Joseph, you're epic.
Yeah, you are epic. Yeah.
Like, that's just, that's awesome.
That totally speaks volumes to his relationship with the Lord.
Yes.
And his interior life, which I think was much fed by his silence and his, Yeah. I just feel like St. Joseph was just a very quiet, but not passive.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we think like quiet, you're just kind of like, don't really do anything with your life.
Yeah.
Can be sort of like the stereotype or the thought, but he lived a silence in such a way that was so active and so, what's the word I'm looking for? Just so important and significant in his day-to-day life. Anyway, yes, I love that point. Yeah, because it would have been so easy to be like, that was a wacko dream.
Yeah, like how many crazy dreams have we had?
Oh,
that were like
so many.
The weirdest thing in my dream last night.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
The one I'm betrothed to is actually pregnant through the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah, because it's not like, I don't know, like I feel like, I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but like if it's like a vision or something when you're awake and conscious, like I feel like then maybe, I mean even so, it'd be very hard to believe and accept. Yeah. But it's like dreams, you're in an unconscious state, and it's just like dreams can be so weird, I don't know.
Yes.
But anywho, yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And so, when I was like thinking about that, then I was kind of like writing some of the traits or virtues that St. Joseph has. And it's funny because when you were talking, I was like, yep. Like his, his humility, he's quiet, he's simple, but very steady. I feel like there's just something very steady and like, which is probably coming from his masculinity, but like a sense of just like steadiness and security. There's just like
firm. You can count on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hardworking, very serving. I don't know if that's. I don't know that that's. I can't figure out the proper form of saying that, but anywho. But also there's just this like gentleness about him.
Yes.
That is just like, oh man, yeah.
Yes.
He's got.
Which gentleness is power. Gentleness, yeah. Again, also I think kind of going along with silence, we sometimes gentleness kind of gets tossed into that category of like weak.
Yes.
'Tis not.
Yes, that is not.
'Tis not, and especially in a man.
Yes, yeah.
Especially in a man, I think gentleness speaks volumes and can be such a powerful thing.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And there's just something about like the balance of strength and gentleness, because you think a lot of time, like, I don't know, just the balance of that. It's just like, oh man.
Yes. Oh
so
man.
Good. Oh man. Yeah, literally a man.
Yes, that's good. So that was mostly coming from, did we dive into?
That was
okay.
Just Matthew's.
Yeah, that was Matthew chapter 1, verse 16, 18 to 21, and 24a. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So then the other option, not sure what your parish is going to do, not sure what our parish is going to do, is from Luke chapter 2, verses 41 through 51a. And this is the story of the finding of the losing and the finding of the child Jesus in the temple. What were your thoughts on this?
Okay, I've got to flip my page quick. It's going to be really
Flip
loud.
it, girl. I actually need to do the same thing. Wait. Can't because, okay.
So if I need to reference anything, I'm going to have to go with yours because it's not in here. Okay, so cool. I think like the first thing that like stuck out to me was the days, like the numbers of the days. So like my initial reaction was Jesus was lost for a whole day before they noticed.
Oh.
I was like, one whole day, child gone.
Yeah.
Not noticed.
Yeah.
So that was my initial reaction. And then I was like, whoa, okay, rein it in. You need to take in some factors because it's not like they were just tucked away in a minivan driving away. Like, oh, we didn't notice. Empty back seat.
Yeah, nobody's in the back seat.
You know.
When that happened.
Yeah. So it's like very different situation.
Sure.
You know, I don't know exactly what they had going on, but I'm sure lots of commotion, lots of things, probably.
Yeah.
Some sort of animal.
Probably.
Horse, camel, I don't know. I don't know their situation. Basically,
yeah.
what I had in my head was obviously not. Yes. Basically had to think that through for a minute.
Yeah.
But then the next number of days we get is 3 days. He was lost, then found in the temple. And I never thought about this before. And maybe it's like, duh. But the significance of 3 days. Obviously, I think it's obvious the significance of 3 days. But pulling from another verse from Scripture. In John 2:19, the verse is, Jesus answered them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. I was like, ooh, destroy this temple. And in 3 days, I will raise it up. So it's just like, oh, wow. There's just lots of,
Yeah.
parallel actions happening here.
Yeah.
But
do you think as he was saying that, he was thinking, do you remember that one time I got lost?
Yeah.
For 3 days in the temple?
Yeah. Probably.
Sorry. Silly thought.
No, that's funny. Yeah. So that I think was like my first initial thoughts. And then so then I was thinking about, so obviously him not, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but not going with his parents, like staying there, obviously caused a commotion and a fuss. And so I was thinking, so there had to be like a reason for that. What was the intent, or what was the purpose? Why did that happen? Or what was the goal, I guess? And obviously there could be countless and numerous answers, and I'm sure, yeah. But just the one that I kind of was thinking about was, if we look at Jesus's response, Mary asks, they find him, Mary asks him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." And he said to them, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" And my own speculations, my own musings here, but I think that like his last line really is like getting to the heart of it and points to one of the reasons. Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house? Like he's pointing to, or whatever you want to say, God's fatherhood. Like I'm in my Father's house, pointing to that. Which then tying that into St. Joseph, we see the theme of fatherhood, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And you think about like Jesus pointing to the fatherhood of God, or flip that. Wait, did I say that right?
I think so.
Okay.
Jesus pointing to the fatherhood of
yes.
God.
Okay. Yes. And then we also then, okay, so then there's that, and then there's Joseph, fatherhood of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm saying these wrong. Am I saying these right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, then through that, it also points to God being our father, like the fatherhood of him to us.
Mm-hmm.
And also Joseph to us, like Joseph being father to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just all these
fathers.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And then kind of like thinking about that a little bit more, I was thinking, when Jesus is on the cross, he offers Mary to us as our mother. He says, behold, this is your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't help but think that, like, with this year dedicated to Saint Joseph, like, is this the time and his way of, like, offering Saint Joseph to us as foster father? Like, he's given us his mother. He's obviously given us himself, and now he's like, and here, foster father too. Like, just
have the whole Holy Family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually had written down, Jesus invites us to join the Holy Family with Mary as mother, Jesus as our brother, and Joseph as our foster father, and obviously God as father as well. But it's just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's a great family to be part of.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But that's pretty much, I think, my thoughts with that one.
Nice.
What did you think?
So, when I read this, I was kind of just imagining the scene. Specifically, Mary and Joseph before finding Jesus and kind of what that looked like. And just like the mother's heart, even just like the heart of a woman, we're not mothers, but what it's like, that would be like. And then like multiply that by whatever when it's your own child.
Yes. Yeah.
And just all the emotional turmoil that she was probably going through. And then I just imagine St. Joseph just being her steady rock. And that gentleness that we were talking about, but also that strength for her and just providing for her emotional needs at that time. And of course himself probably also going through, because it says your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety. But I just imagine him in his incredible model of manhood, just protecting Mary's heart and all of that, and the ache of her heart, and like, where's my son? So I don't know, just it was more of kind of like an imaginative thought, I guess. That might be a little bit redundant, but of kind of what, their journey, what it looked like, and their relationship, and how that all played out. And I just feel like, St. Joseph was this, because one of his titles is, the protector of the universal church, patron of the universal church, but there's just this idea of being a protector, which again speaks greatly to manhood. I think that's one of the desires written into every man's heart, is like, gotta protect, which is a really, really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I just imagine St. Joseph, just living this out beautifully and protecting Mary's heart. And just, Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Kind of an interesting thing to kind of think about,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of imagine what that looked like for them leading up to finding Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I guess, like, we don't hear St. Joseph say, like, son, what have you done?
Mm-hmm.
Again, the silent thing, we don't hear him talk.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, just kind of displaying this gentleness that maybe you wouldn't expect after you've been looking for your child for 3 days.
Yeah.
But,
Mm-hmm.
So, that's all I had.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that a wrap?
I think so. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I guess I should check my Yeah. Cool. St. Joseph is a great model for manhood. Please join us in praying this next month for authentic masculinity. And then also, just pray specifically for the men in your life. Brothers, fathers, spouses, friends, priests, all the men. Pray for them, that they may model after St. Joseph. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
We need to do our,
Oh, yeah.
last month we forgot, me, we being me, we forgot to share what we were grateful for, our bit of the month. So I said we should probably do 2 this time since we kind of gypped y'all. I know you were probably on the edges of your seat, like,
Yeah.
are they
A
grateful?
few tears were probably shed.
Sorry.
You know, they're like, I don't know what they're grateful for.
I can't move
I can't go on.
I'm sure that's exactly how it went.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Do you want to let's do 1-1
Okay.
and then 2 and 2. Or 1-1.
Okay.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
First bit of the month would be the weather. The weather has gotten so much better, in my opinion. Some people really like the winter. I'm not really one of those people. And in recent week or so, it's been a lot warmer. As you can see, I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt today. Actually, I hardly wore a coat today. It was like in the 60s. A little bit windy, but, you know, I'll take it. So grateful for the weather, the change in weather, because, like, I don't know, a month or so ago, a few weeks ago, we had, like, a foot of snow, and it was very, very cold, and so I'm really welcoming spring with open arms. Come on, spring. You are most welcome here.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I know. Yeah, it was like pouring rain earlier.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I'm so glad this is not snow.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, thank goodness it's rain.
Yeah. And you were standing out in it, too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go spring.
Yeah. All right. Mine, I don't know if this is like silly to say or weird to say, but probably not. I don't know. I'm probably just overthinking it. But I celebrated a birthday recently, and it was a great birthday. And yeah, it was just a really good day. Spent it with a lot of lovely, high quality folk. So
The eyebrows.
yeah, there was a lot of eyebrow movement right there. I just realized.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's my first one.
Nice. And I can attest to that for the part of the day that I was with you. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Second one, kind of going right along with what you just said, but is friendships. I've been really, well, the Lord has really been just, how do I even say this? Just pointing out to me the goodness of the friendships that He's given me and the people that He's put in my life. And I've just been delighting in my friendships. Like, I've laughed a lot. I've kind of like one of the really cool things is like I've been able to see how my friends delight in me, which is a really cool thing. But then also like kind of like reciprocating that and like how I delight in them. And then our relationship together is just this beautiful thing. And I'm so very thankful. And then just kind of like how, I guess maybe on a more spiritual level, just recognizing that this is all from God and that He's speaking to me through these people and through these relationships, and that there's something He tries to tell me in the way that the people love me and the way that I love them and the delight we get out of each other. So friendships, shout out to friendships, shout out to God, thank you God. Yeah.
Nice. That's great. I know when I was trying to think of some earlier, that I didn't end up writing it down, but that is one of them that, yeah, I've been thinking about a lot recently. Just like kind of funny how some, I guess, words. Just thinking about like friendships, but also family, and like how it just seems like in some ways the Lord is growing my family, and not even just like my shared DNA family or whatever you want to say, but just like how, yeah, it's like friendships, but how like these people are like becoming part of my family too, you know. That's just like
their family's growing.
Yes, all these lovely people, and yeah, and just, yeah, some people are just great, you know, and it's just like yeah.
And God's providence and all of it.
Oh,
just
yeah.
seeing how he works things out. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. But what I had written down, because actually, okay, so what I end up picking, that's kind of I'm doing 3, I guess, whatever. It's St. Joseph's feast day, solemnity. I'm doing 3.
Maybe I should come up with a 3rd.
The next 10 minutes, we just say all these things we're grateful for. It's for St. Joseph. It's fine. But kind of relating to that, one of mine is hugs, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've been getting and giving a lot more hugs, and it's great. I really like it. So.
Ditto.
Yeah.
I like the hugs too. Yeah. That is good.
And it comes from those great people.
Yeah. You know? That family.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. Cool. Should I come up with another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's think here. What am I grateful for? I am grateful that we were able to move that desk.
Yeah. And we didn't break anything.
We didn't. Yeah. Not that we know of.
Yeah.
There was a desk we had to move in order to set up this table. And it's not light. I'm not strong. But it's not very light table.
Yeah. And there's a lot of weight on the one side.
Yep.
Which we realized as we were picking it up, and it started to tip pretty far over.
It's okay. Readjust.
Yeah. And then we overcorrected. And
still not working. Let's try that again.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had recorded us trying to move that.
I kind of do too.
Because that would have been hilarious.
Setup, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole setup, it was a process, and that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, because what did you say? You said something funny.
I think it was when we tried a second time, and I was
and it was wrong again.
That's still not right.
Yeah, you're like, oh, still not right. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
But
so we survived. We will have to move it back here in a few moments, but that's enough talk about the desk. Okay, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so do you have any last thoughts?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So
3, I think. At least 3, probably more.
At least. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that picked that up because I looked over at the audio and it kind of like whoop. My apologies. So surprise, in honor of Saint Joseph, I just want to pray the novena prayer to Saint Joseph, to close, and then
And then we'll see you next month.
And then we will see you next month. Okay. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Saint Joseph, you are the faithful protector and intercessor of all who love and venerate you. I have special confidence in you. You are powerful with God and will never abandon your faithful servants. I humbly invoke you and commend myself with all who are dear to me to your intercession. By the love you have for Jesus and Mary, do not abandon me during life, and assist me at the hour of my death. Glorious Saint Joseph, be my guide, my father, and my model through life, that I may merit to die as you did in the arms of Jesus and Mary. Guardian of the Word incarnate, I am confident that your prayers on my behalf will be graciously heard before the throne of God. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks. See you next month.
The Red Sunflowers podcast is a production of Journeys Revealed Ministries. Glorify the Lord by your life.
To learn more about this Catholic nonprofit apostolate, visit the website journeysrevealed.com. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.